Hey guys, it's Wednesday and welcome to today's episode of Behind the Closed Doors. Now I know I told you guys I would be a few days off, so no vlogs, but well, what can I tell you, it's pretty addictive. Plus today we got something really cool coming in the mail that will change the look of the vlog forever. Now during workshops and trips I love to do a little bit of panning and of course talk to you guys like this. And with the Joby Pod I can actually hold it pretty stable, but you still see some movement. Now we already looked at the stabilizer, but that didn't work well. Although I later got an email from Camera Nu and a WhatsApp actually that it did work because you had to put the power down of the motor. Good morning! But today we have another brand coming in and let's see if that one works and then we can have stable images in the vlog. Okay, you remember that white backdrop behind me that also reflected the light and took a lot of attention? Well, in previous episodes you saw that we were already working on some black areas there. And well, the girls have been busy the last few days. And it's still not the way that I want it, but we just put some stuff in there. So we still have to make this a little bit nicer and get some backlighting on there. And this is actually where I do all the tips and product reviews, so it's right behind it. So this would give a way nicer and more easy look for you guys, instead of that big white in the back. Still have to put some LED lighting in there, different colors, gonna be awesome. First thing on the agenda, however, continue copying everything to the Drobo. Now we got the Drobo in last week and I've been copying all the files for photography to the Drobo. Really love that because now I only have one drive letter, one location, and there's still a lot of data on there. But it takes a long time. And as you can see, the Drobo is filling up quite nicely. And now we're gonna turn on the big tower. There we go. And then start the copying process. There are many different solutions for copying your files. I actually chose for the free software version called a Free File Sync, and it's on PC. On the Mac I actually always used Carbon Copy Cloner. Okay, now you may or may not realize how much data we use each day. For example, the vlog takes about 10 gigabytes a day. And then we have to edit it into a 1.4 gigabyte file. So that's a lot of data every day. Now my main machine for photography and everything else is of course the PC over here. But most of the work I actually do on my laptop at home because I don't want to sit all day in the studio just editing video or editing photos. I'm here more than enough. So what I normally do is I will leave everything on the hard drive of the laptop and then copy it off once every while. But well, since the vlog, it's now been 150 gigabytes on my hard drive. So I really have to get this off onto the main computer because then it's backupped. And I can't stress to you guys how important backups are. Make sure you always have at least one backup in the studio and one backup externally. Because if something happens to your studio, you will lose all data and it's gone forever, so it will never come back. And there's one thing with the hard drive. There's one thing that's certain, it will fail. There's one thing that's uncertain, and that's when. And I always add the other thing, it will always happen when you don't want it. We're gonna make one backup on the Synology NAS and one backup on the external tower. And a week just brought in the package I've been waiting for today. It's a package from Volux. And this will make our vlog a lot better. Wanna see what's inside? I do. So let's open this baby up. Never cut towards yourself. We love this stuff.
No, we don't.
And a week doesn't. Stabilizer. Okay, let's see what's inside the box. Already like the front because they're using a Sony camera. Good start. Okay, nice sturdy suitcase or case. And this is inside the box. Now the cool thing about this is actually that I didn't want a stabilizer that's big and heavy. So I already have a glide cam which I used a lot in the past because there were not really alternatives except if you want to wear a harness. But the thing is, when you travel with something like that, it's really heavy because you have counterweights and you still have to work with two hands. So for a vlog, will be incredibly heavy. Now this is incredibly light. So you actually have this part and then you screw something underneath for the battery. And this is way lighter, of course, than a glide cam. So let me see. So this is actually the part you screw under. So this is actually the whole size. So the only thing you have here on is your camera. And you have a joystick here in which you can pan, tilt and move around. You have several functions, so you can follow, you can lock, you can actually pan, and you can also do it upside down for those low shots. So I'm gonna do a review on this one very soon, but for now I'm just gonna put my camera on, level everything out, because you do have to level it at first, and then let's see what this baby can do. But this is something I'm willing to travel with because it's small. If you have something that's bigger, I'm not willing to travel with, so it will end up probably in the closet and you will use it once or twice. This is a really nice size, and according to a lot of the reviews, the batteries will run for anything between 3 and 6 or 8 hours. So that's a really good battery life for a stabilizer and a gimbal. I'm really curious. So let's put this baby on and see what it can do. Okay, you should get 4 of these batteries and they run for a long time. And also a charger. The cool thing about these kind of chargers is that they're actually on USB. So when you travel, and this is really smart, you don't have to bring another power pack, which saves you a lot of space in your bags. Okay, here we have the first experiment with the stabilizer. It looks pretty stable. Now let's see what happens if I stand up and actually move around. So I'm gonna walk through the studio. There we go. So I have to do a little bit with the joystick to get the image right on me. And I think this looks way smoother. Still have to see the material, of course. It actually adjusts, so I can do with the joystick, but I can also lock this, of course. Okay, so this is another mode where I can actually move up to something. There we go. Then as soon as I turn around more, you will actually get me in the frame. So this is very interesting if you want to show something. For example, I just move around here. I say, okay, so this is our studio from behind. And I want it back in my face. And we move around this again. Pretty handy. Okay, and in the meantime, we got another parcel in. And this one is from our friends from Sekonic. And I think it's the new light meter. So let's see what's in the package. So Anouk, do you have the package there?
Yes, I do.
Okay, very curious to see what's in there. And it says Sekonic. So I guess it's a light meter. Don't you think so?
It's a very big one.
It's a very big light meter. So let's unpack this. Okay, Anouk is filming this with the new gimbal. So let's see how stable it stays.
It says light meter on the box.
Yep. So I think it's pretty clear what's in here. But it's a huge box for a light meter. And there we go. We also have the transmitter for photics. This is, without a doubt, the most advanced light meter at the moment. It's a brand new 858D. And this is a totally digital one. Now, should you upgrade from a 758 or a 558, that's all up to you. This one has a display, there's all the new features, and it can actually meter high-speed sync from small strobes. So that's really interesting. Now, it won't do high sync, so from the Elengram system, because that's impossible, because that has a lot to do with, of course, your camera and the power you have on your output. But this one will do a high-speed sync from small flash, so that's a really big plus. So let's see what's in the box. The future of the light meter. Manual. Better keep that one. And there we go. Looks pretty similar to the 758, which I absolutely love. The only difference is it now has a really nice display, so you can exactly see what you do. And it looks like a mix between the 448 and the 758. Now the big thing about the 758 was actually that you could spot meter on 1 degree. And you can also do that with this one. So that's a big plus for me. Okay, so we're going to try this out the coming days and weeks during the workshops. And I will keep you updated, of course. Because, as you know, I'm Mr. Light Meter. So I love those things. I was actually wrong. This is a module for both Phottix and Allengram, so that's a big plus. So you don't have to switch modules. You can also use, let me see, Pocket Wizard, and why not just show you guys?
Oh.
Hey, now you know I've been struggling with my dead cat, right? With the hairs constantly in the frame. So I'm now actually trying something else. And this is actually a lav. So I now have here a lavalier microphone and it's connected to the camera. Now, if I do something where you need audio, I will actually connect it. So Anouk is now checking how far the cable will go. And it will go pretty far. And if I don't stop, see, this is the length of the cable. So if I don't need the sound, I can actually just pull the plug out and I don't have to remember to turn on my microphone or to turn the microphone off, or I can run out of batteries. So this works pretty well, and a lav gives you a way better sound quality, of course, than a normal microphone. Really happy with this solution. And of course the ambient noise is suppressed because now you only hear my voice. Okay, I'm back home, gonna edit today's episode of Behind the Closed Doors. Now today's episode was a very simple one, mostly just a talking head. And of course getting the stabilizer in, which I hope you guys will see a difference. I'm now actually hand holding the gimbal and it is heavy, but it's very doable. And when I pan around you can actually see it's really smooth. It isn't on follow mode at the moment, so still have to learn how to work the gimbal because, well, there are different options. And of course I can use the joystick to pan around. And it looks pretty stable. So I really like this. But I have to learn to work it. But hey, that's the cool thing about new stuff. So tomorrow we have a very special episode because we're gonna go to an event from Sony. And of course we're gonna show you that in Behind the Closed Doors. And by the way, finally, I hope you find the audio better now. I'm now using the lav microphone, which is more close to my body. So that means that you don't have that nasty echo effect. So working on improving the vlog every single episode. Well, we try to. Hey guys, thank you so very much. If you like what we do, please subscribe to our channel, leave comments below and tell other people about it. You really help us out with that. Thank you so very much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.